gear. Pacers ain't got no fear. We gotta talk about Purdy. Now let's switch some gears.
All right. Why you doing that? I gotta go grab something. Keep talking.
They got 3 years. I think this was announced yesterday or the day before yesterday. My timeline may be off, but he got 3 back, just like they're gonna try to do this season. Dave, tell us. Throughout all these contract negotiations, that's a nice shirt that you got there. Wait, Fred blending in with the city. But there you go. There you go. But the one detail that came out, and Dave, shout out to Davey Chef for sharing it with us, but there's a no trade clause in Purdy's deal. And some people have issues with it. We want to find out from our in-house 49er fan. Are you okay with Purdy having this no trade clause?
You're on mute. And Dave, you gotta tell people your reaction, like how you text us when you find out.
Oh, don't worry. I will. I will. Shoot, if y'all had the screenshot, I would love for y'all to pull the screenshot.
Before he put it in the chat, he texted
us. Purdy paid.
But look, before I start talking about Purdy's contract, I got to talk about what happened. What started last year. A lot of people were not talking about this. But the 49ers started to do something that they don't normally do. Pay players before it's too late. We did that with Lambo Anlo last year. People forgot that we gave him an extension last year during the season. My boy got paid. He's the best corner that we have back there right now. I wish we still have Mooney Ward, but we know what happened with Mooney Ward last year when his daughter passed away, unfortunately. So I'm glad that he was able to move on. He's in Indianapolis. I hope he has a great career. More power to my guy. But this started last year with Lambo Anlo. Then we gave Kittle a new contract. Then we gave Purdy a new contract. And then we got Fred. This is the first time that I can remember since Jimmy Garoppolo that we are going into a offseason without any contract drama. Everyone's showing up to OTAs. Trent Williams at OTAs. Fred Warner's at OTAs. And Tomo, I got to correct you. He's the highest paid inside linebacker in NFL history. Not one of. He's the highest paid. And the best inside linebacker in the league. I got to correct Carl on that because he said one of the best. He's the best inside linebacker in the league. Just got to let you know.
Carl did say if not the one. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Go ahead.
He is the best linebacker in the league. I don't think anyone has questioned that for a while. I understand you represent your boy Roquan Swift. He great. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best. Second best in the league. But he ain't better than Fred Warner. But this contract, now that I gotta get to this part, I had to do my excitement first. This contract, and it's 181 guaranteed, not 167. 181 guaranteed.
I ain't spell check.
Hey, just saying. When it comes to my team, I got to make sure that I get all the facts out there right.
I was doing the California taxes on it, but I
you know what? California taxes might be 150.
It'd be more, Tomo.
It might be 150 million.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, man, do your thing.
Man, I don't like it. Purdy is that's my guy. That's my guy. Go back and look at it, Carl, because you definitely said one of the best. You didn't say the best.
He did say if not the best.
Just say the best. But I don't like it for this reason. Let's say, hypothetically, Purdy plays terrible these next 2-3 seasons. And 49ers want to move off him or go get someone else. Who's to say that there's a team that's actually going to want him? We already hear now that people don't consider him a top 10 quarterback, that he's not a franchise changer. He doesn't do all these things. I support Purdy. I think Purdy is a really good quarterback. He could potentially be great. Is kind of sort of there, but people already know he's not one of the most talented. People go back to say, he wouldn't be what he is without his weapons. Well, you point to me a quarterback that has won without any weapons. Just show me one. Because even when Patrick Mahomes won, he at least had Travis Kelce there. he had some weapons there. He had Isaiah Pacheco. He had Rasheed Rice. Like he had some guys that he was able to win a title with. He had Tyreek Hill when he won the Super Bowl title. I mean, come on, he had some receivers. Brady had receivers. Peyton Manning had receivers. Aaron Rodgers had receivers. I mean, you go to whoever you got plenty of people. I understand, Carl. I did make some mistakes when I did that, but hey, I was. Don't worry. I was.
Fight back, HOA. Fight back.
I was sipping a little something during that time. All right, I was sipping a little something at that time. But look, man, I don't like it because I'm sorry, Tomo, but it just makes me think about Dak. Because Dak has a no trade clause. And remember what I said about Dak? I said, now what if Dak gets hurt? He plays bad. He's not gonna go nowhere unless he absolutely wants to go. And that's kind of what you give to Purdy. And I understand it. First 2 years in the league, he gets to the NFC Championship game his first year, year and a half, half of a year. And then the second year, he goes right to the Super Bowl. So I get it. You think this guy he's everything. And I believe he's the guy for the franchise. But to give him a no trade clause, I just think it's kind of crazy. It's kind of insane. Like I already defended the contract because the contract is not necessarily $53 million a year. He's only guaranteed $36 million a year. So it's not necessarily 53. He has incentives to get it to 53. And that's the average that it's supposed to be, but it's 36 million guaranteed per year. So he left some money on the table, which I'm happy about. But to give him a no trade clause, like, you got to think about everything. What if you need to get up off of him? What if you have an opportunity to get another pick, to get a quarterback at the time if he's not able to do anything? And the one thing I'm okay with is because the salary cap is going to continue to go up, and he's not top 5 in quarterback pay. He's 7th, so it's not like he's making a whole lot of money to where we can't move around anything. We'll still be able to move around, but it's just like, let's say we find somebody that we want in the draft and he's not what we thought he would be. Now we're stuck with him. So I don't like it for that reason, but I understand why they gave it to him, because they believe in him. And I believe in him too, but come on, man. You can give him the contract without giving him a no trade clause. That's just me.
Go ahead, Tomo.
So you said it's 53 a year, but he says basically incentive based. And what was the number you say after that? Like 30 something?
It's 36 mil fully. It's 36 guaranteed a year.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, so that's where that number comes from. The no trade clause comes into play because of what he did. He went from Mr. Irrelevant to getting y'all to a Super Bowl. I mean, first things first. I mean, it's sports, so we all gonna always talk about it. If he didn't get hurt in the Eagles game, it could have been back to back. We don't know. That's the one thing about sports is we always have that element of we don't know. And then last year, going into it, it was just injuries everywhere. It was kind of like when Oprah was passing out the cards. He was like, you got an injury. I remember one time we read it off and Joe was like, man, felt like he was doing a graduation announcement the way he was just naming names. It was just everybody was hurt. I was like, come on, bro. I felt bad because even the Cowboys had injuries too, but some of them names was just bad. And that also, I think what happened last year woke up your front office. This is the first time in all season history we are not sitting up here saying like, well, are they going to pay Kittle? Are they going to pay Warner? Are they going to pay Purdy? They kind of cleaned everything up. It started off with a little whisper of Kittle, signed him. That just went under the radar. Then next thing you know, Dave was like, Purdy paid. And I was like, that's a pretty nice payday. The no trade clause. And I agree with you. I said the same thing about Dak. But I'm going to switch sports. Y'all know I don't like the no trade clause.
Bradley Beal.
There we go. There we go.
And that made me think of it too.
Because I think it can happen quicker in the NFL than it will in the NBA, but depending upon 1 or 2 seasons, that could make or break your whole franchise. And now you're looking at his contract, and then you're trying to find a way to trade him. And then quarterbacks sometimes come a dime a dozen, and at the rate they coming out of college right now, people are going to be like, well, why should I get Purdy when I can just go get this guy? We had a whole segment about what happened with Shador. They'll just wait 5 rounds and probably go get their quarterback instead of trading for a Purdy, or they may trade back up and go get Jackson Dart. You never know what the Giants may do. They might go get Purdy, but I'm just saying it's just things like that. Or you got teams like the Steelers who could go get a Purdy, but probably won't go get him because they don't look at quarterbacks the same way we do. But that no trade clause, good for him, bad for the franchise. I'm not mad at him having it because Dak got one. So welcome, brother. But outside of that, I'm not too mad at it, Joe.
We the no trade clause bros now.
Hey, we here. At least yours went to the Super Bowl. I'm over here fighting. Yeah. I'm fighting in quicksand with this guy.
Super Bowl and NFC Championship 2 years in a row. Let's get it.
You ain't gotta say all that now.
So look, what's the salary cap increase percentage?
I can't remember. Give me one second. I'm gonna find it.
Here we go. I got it. 9.3%. So based on the salary cap increase, Brock Purdy. So let's break it down, y'all. First of all, I'm okay with no trade clause. Let me tell you the 49ers there, Dave. Purdy.
Yeah, talk me into it.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Purdy, like, hey, yo, he probably said, I want 60. You know, he probably look at Dak. Dak got this. I beat Dak all the time. I went further than Dak. I actually went to the Super Bowl. It's not about
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, undefeated against Dak.
You mean every time? No. You mean every time he's played, or not all the time? All the time, I think of like Bosa and them. Like that's all the time. He got 2 games.
That's my Purdy.
He got 2 games. The history ain't there yet.
Y'all play only once in the regular season with Purdy?
Twice.
Yeah, last year and this year.
And, he only got 2 games. And the playoffs too.
And the playoffs
wasn't there.
Yes, he was
there. He was there. He threw 2 picks. 2 in the first half.
I said Purdy.
Yes,
Purdy
he was.
There. He was there. That's the year he got hurt.
2 years ago, Tomo. You okay?
That's the year he got hurt against the Eagles.
Yeah.
When y'all get Christian McCaffrey?
That year.
3 years ago.
That year when Christian McCaffrey didn't do nothing.
Messed me up. Go ahead.
And the defense, it was actually Dak that lost the game. Purdy wasn't great. It was deep. Anyway. Yeah.
That's how I know he wasn't there.
We knew Dak was there. I went on 2 picks.
I know he was there, but I'm talking about the other one.
Purdy was the quarterback.
What I'm saying is I don't know he was there because of how he played.
Yeah.
We knew that because he gave the game away. Go ahead.
All right, so
and Trayvon.
Look, that one play, okay. Tomo ain't playing. Look what Dak got. Look what Trevor. Look what Dak got. Dak got this. They said, "Hey, Purdy, we can't give you Dak money. That's wild. Cowboys ain't smart. We're not gonna do that with you." Sorry, Tomo. Cowboys did the wrong thing by giving that. We're not gonna do that for you. Yo, I need my money. Look what Trevor got. He got 55. Purdy, how about 53? Well, put no trade clause in there. Hey, John, let's just huddle up. All right, we're going to give him 265, 181 guaranteed, which is 3.5 years. We ain't got to trade. We can just cut him. We can just cut him. And then, look, quarterbacks don't get traded. And when they do, they go where they want to go. It's like a no trade clause. Remember Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson had all the sexual crap going on, and he still picked where he wanted to go. Look at Matthew Stafford. He picked where he wanted to go. Look at Russell Wilson. He picked where he wanted to go. Who cares about no trade clause in the NFL when you got a 5-year contract? You can always cut them when the guaranteed money ain't high. Now, if it's fully guaranteed like Deshaun Watson, then you're stuck. But you won't be stuck with Purdy. So they're like, we're going to add a no trade clause to it, and he's going to take the $53 million. I didn't want to do it, but you're worth it. We'll give you no trade clause. Okay, I'll sign for $53. Hey, Tomo, hold on. Hey, Tomo, hold on. Where is that?
What you looking for, Joe?
We got him. We got him. That's it. We got him. Go ahead, Tony. You got me, Tomo?
We got him.
They got him. So, with the salary cap increase compared to everybody else's salary compared to the salary cap, when they sign, he's the 12th. highest paid QB in the NFL. You would take that to the bank, $53 million, Dave. That's a great deal for y'all. 181 guaranteed for 260. That's great. That's a team-friendly deal. You get on no trade, bro. We're not putting on trade you in the next 3 years. It's fine. You can stay. But now 4th year, we can just cut you and save the money and just go somewhere else. At the end of the day, you were Mr. Irrelevant. But I do think that Brock Purdy will play better. I think he earned the contract. I heard people say that he did not earn a contract, and they always compare his stats with Jimmy Garoppolo.
He definitely earned the contract. This is why I always say you can't compare Jimmy to Purdy, because Jimmy was there a lot longer than what Purdy was when he got all of those stats, if you look at it. And you can look at games and tell that we won games despite having Jimmy Garoppolo as the quarterback. And Jimmy Garoppolo had the name, Gimme Jimmy, because no matter what, he was going to give the other team a chance to get the ball because he was going to throw a pick somewhere in that game. Purdy, although he had turnovers last season, if you look at it before, he was not a high turnover guy. And honestly, if you look at the play, the offense got a lot better with him being the quarterback. Because remember, in that same season when he came in, Trey Lance was the quarterback, he got hurt. Then Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback. The rushing yards got a lot better, but the passing was still kind of sort of the same with Jimmy Garoppolo. He wasn't throwing down the field. You didn't see where Jimmy Garoppolo was leading the league in passing yards per attempt or nothing like that. He was in no MVP conversation whatsoever. Purdy came in and he was actually in the MVP conversation. He would have won it had he won that Christmas game, but the 49ers got blown out and he played a terrible game. He threw 4 interceptions in that game. So that was it after that. But Purdy, you saw the difference when he could not play in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. And when he came back and played the next season, you saw what happened when we played the Eagles. Blew them out.
Right.
Purdy is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry. He is. People compare him because neither one of those guys are like high talented guys or something like that. They're not, or it's not your, they're not talented quarterbacks, but Purdy is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. The stats may compare, but if you look at the actual game, you can tell that Purdy's better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
And here's the thing. Go ahead, Dom.
And Dave, the reason why Purdy is really better than Jimmy Garoppolo, he the reason that Shady McCoy can talk trash on the facility, acting like he did something in the Super Bowl game. But go ahead, Joe.
I do want to say this, though. There was a stat that was hovering around Kyle Shanahan's career. People keep saying you can throw any quarterback in the system. Really? Okay, he had Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was pretty good. Won MVP with Kyle Shanahan. RG3 was with Kirk Cousins did his thing, right? With Kyle Shanahan when he stepped in. But when guys think about the other, we forget Jimmy G wasn't always healthy. When he got hurt, they were trash. People forget Jimmy G was undefeated with the Patriots before he got traded to the 49ers. Everybody forget about that part. But here's a stat that followed Kyle Shanahan's whole career. When he was down by 20 plus points in the second half, he was 0-19. Brock Purdy is the only player in Kyle Shanahan's career who came back from a 20-point deficit in the second half, and it happened in the playoffs against the Lions. It was in San Francisco. But you get what I'm saying? It happened, and he was the reason it happened. He sparked it. So and then the Super Bowl is now on Brock Purdy. Last time I checked, Chris McCaffrey, who everybody considered the best player, fumbled in the first half. Last time I checked, Trent Williams missed a block. Last time I checked,
that wasn't Trent Williams.
No, not the end of the game. I'm not talking about the end of the game. It was somebody else at the end of the game.
That was Cole McKibbitz. I know exactly who it was.
That game, though.
It was Cole McKibbitz. I know who it was. That's why I talk about him so much. Cole McKibbitz. That's who gave it up.
But Brock Purdy played well that game. So, and then we also, what happened when he got hurt against Philly, and then they couldn't do nothing. And then the following year against that same team, he threw for how many touchdowns? Was it 5 or I'm tripping? Was it 4? Debo had like 3 or 2.
It was 4.
It was 4? I don't know, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what it was.
All I know is that they got blown out in that game.
They got blown in Philly. So Brock Purdy earned all that bread, and the 49ers won the deal. I'll tell you that, though.
That's
so
right.
Brady.
Okay. You changed my mind, though.
Joe said the 49ers pulled the Chris Rock. He was like, how much you want? 60? Good Lord, that's a lot of money. How about we give you 53 and a no trade clause? I take it.
How much for the rib?
That's exactly what he did. He's like, how about you eat the rib? Nah, he was wild. He was wild.